Really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how you consider the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's going to have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of know, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets, and we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point, man. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It would
I'm
be a
already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
Right? But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open,
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak, welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
That's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
Who the hell? Yeah, so Mad Dog.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
He's
always
just
love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
But, all right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about depipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 ounces. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. Member Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning end.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol,
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then we'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. Do you know what this means?
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool
Filthy
because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one. What's up, party people? We are here for the PokerCoach.com study stream with my main man here, Game of Edges, joining me, sitting in for sixes, because he's been working his ass off and needs a vacation. He deserved it. He earned it. I think he'll be back next week. He said he's coming back that day, so I might be hitting you up, John. We'll see what
Sounds
happens.
good. What's
See what
up,
you're doing
everyone?
next week. This is PokerCoach.com, Jonathan Little's coaching site that we use for this sort of thing. Exclamation point PC in the chat, and you will be able to join up for free, where you get 20 free quizzes, big blind charts for 100 blinds or more, homework assignments. If you sign up for the premium version, there's staking opportunities, there's webinars, multiple webinars every week. There's all these quizzes, there's almost 1,000 of them. Homeworks, there's so much content on this damn site that you can't consume it all. It's going to take you a couple years to get through it all. John has been a long-time crusher, just came off a hell of a run in the World Series on a lot of events, and has been a long-time PokerCoach.com member. So that shit works. Ryan DePaulo wins a bracelet, longtime PokerCoach.com member. This stuff is good, it works, and it's out there for you. If you sign up for free, because it's free. Jesus, like, you can't, why would you pass up on such a free opportunity? You know what I mean? Like, easy way to get better for nothing. What we're going to do this time too is we usually have you guys compete against each other, and the way this works is I'll use Nightbot. I will draw 2 winners from this stream. We'll have you guys compete out. We'll pick a random quiz. We'll ask the audience what you guys would do. We'll ask our 2 men or women of the moment what they would do, and then John and I will say what we would do. We'll see what the coach of the hour will do, and we'll go from there. Lots of amazing coaches on the site. I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't think I did. Sassinado, Faraz Jaka, Matt Affleck. There's some content from me. There's some content from Sixes. There's Jonathan Little, James Romero, who was one of the #1 players in the, I don't remember if it was the world or the U.S. last year, but he's a bad mofo. Lexi Gavin, Evan Jarvis, Tristan Wade. They just keep adding coaches. Good stuff for you. So that's it. Let's get Nightbot ready, and I will have you guys start to battle it out. In the meantime, John, congratulations on your runs in the damn World Series, man. What'd you have? Like an 11th, the final table?
Yeah, it's been a grind for sure. I played 25 out of 31 events. Pretty much I just skipped the Omaha and the seniors event, like 1 Hold'em event. And yeah, it was pretty good. Had 6 caches, but 1 final table. So not too bad. No crazy money, but it was profitable, so that's nice.
It's always a good summer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I was happy. Yeah. I'm 3 for 3 in at least 2 caches the last 3 summers in a row. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. And like it's cool. Like it's cool to have WSOP caches in general, right? Like that's just a cool thing to have on the resume. Awesome. We're lucky. We live in states where we got to play.
Yeah, I am very grateful for that. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of players who are obviously not from Nevada, New Jersey. Sucks. I mean, I feel your pain for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And like looking at the GG stuff, I'm kind of jelly.
Like, me too. Like I can't even be on Twitter because I'm gonna get serious FOMO.
Yeah, I know, right? I had like a 151 million guarantee. I think it was a freeze out even. Crazy.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys, let's see who's out there. Exclamation point. No, not exclamation point. Just the word poker coaching in the chat. I didn't put the exclamation point this time. And we will have you guys battle it out. In the meantime, let me catch up in the chat. What's up, Jeff Gem? How you doing, my man? Peanut Flesh Jelly, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate you, buddy. Cyrus in the house. Rumbad in the house. Wizco dropping bits. Thank you, boss. Game of Edges coming in the chat saying hi to everybody. Emerson, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys. Good to see you. So what we'll do is we'll have you guys compete. Like I said, we'll do it $5 to the winner. $5 either ACR or PayPal, whatever works for you. No exclamation point on that one, Beats. And there we go. It was funny, like actually the 1K main event was yesterday, and I wasn't even for some reason in my mind the main is always on Sundays. So like I was planning on playing Sunday, and I was setting up my grind yesterday, and on Fridays I stream for Global specifically, so I can only show global tables. And I was looking around to see what else was to play, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm playing a 1K today, John.
Yeah, I mean, I know they did it because they want to do every day in July, but extend it a few days. They won't hurt anyone.
Yeah, why not? Right?
I think it would have been a much bigger turnout for sure if they made it Sunday.
Yeah, because people work, right? And some people, otherwise they can't get in there. Wandering says, yo, what's up? I got 1% pieces of Berkey yesterday. He made a deep run like 56. Nice. Picked up a good horse. That's the crazy thing right now, too, is WSOP.com in general is, a pretty soft site, relatively speaking. And right now, because of quarantine and everything, like every $50 buy and up has Chris Moorman in it and Matt Berkey in it and all these crushers in it because they're home and they can't play live. So they're tougher right now.
Yeah, definitely tougher later in the tournament, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, early it's always fair game, right?
Yeah.
Cool. What's up, Marlon? How you doing? What's up, Mendo? All right, we got 12 people eligible for the first run. Let's draw 2 winners. We got Triple Barrel going at it against Mr. Happy Face. What's up, guys? Triple Barrel says, I see you there. Happy Face, I know you're in here. Just put something in the chat so I know you're paying attention. In the meantime, John, we should do a quiz.
Let's do it.
You know what I should have done is I should have given you my login so we can see the same quizzes done.
Yeah, you just you pick wherever you think is good, and I'll be cool with it.
me scroll down. There's a new Faraz Jaka. We have to save that for sixes or yell at me. Because that's his favorite coach right now, the new coaches. Let's scroll down a bit. Oh, we might have to go way down here. What about 657? It's JL playing King Jack suited. You see it? You could filter by tourney and all that too.
657.
Triple Bro says, radar depleted, everything deleted, building block barriers, avoid COVID carriers, dropping bombs with Harriers, nothing gets in our way except the other day. Dropping beats. We needed a beatbox for that. I like it, Triple Barrel. Jeff says, Toe, I have a $50 ticket. I want to play the 10K freeze out. I'm waiting for all the pros to go to Mexico. It's a good plan. Waiting for them to all take off and go play GG.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, that's a very good point.
I don't know what it's like crossing borders right now. Like, I know, like, you can't get into Canada so easy.
Yeah, like I still work. I have a full-time job in the city, and if I leave the tri-state area, I won't be allowed to work for 14 days, so I can't even leave.
Oh, they have like a cool-off period.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Because I've been traveling a little bit for work myself. I was in Denver last week. I'm going to Philadelphia in a couple weeks, and luckily I have to double check. There's no quarantine, like there's no like cooling period because I don't want to get stuck.
Yeah, you gotta check that. Yeah, that would. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's a weird time we're living in. All right, so I see Triple Barrel, Happy Face. I see you. All right, let's run this quiz, see what they say, and get this party rolling.
Here we have the beautiful King Jack of Hearts in a $1,000 tournament in the cutoff seat. Should we fold, call, raise to 200, or raise to 300?
All right, guys. First spot here with the King Jack suited. Let me know what you got. Triple Barrel and I nicked myself shaving. So if I start like bleeding profusely from my face, don't freak out, guys. Thought I got it to stop. What are you gonna do? Triple Barrel and Happy Face. Triple Barrel going 200 and Happy Face just to calling. Cool. Those are our men of the hour battling it out. Cyrus says 250. How many bigs deep are we? 250 bigs deep. We're pretty hella deep. Peanut Flesh says 300, 200 streaming in, 200 streaming in. Road trip to Mexico. Go to Ensenada. That's cool. Mexico's good to go to now. I've been to Ensenada a bunch and TJ a bunch growing up in LA. It's an hour and a half drive. Drive to the border, leave your car, walk across, take a cab for like $5. And all you can drink when you're 18 for like $10. It's the best thing ever. We're road tripping it. It's a little further now for me. From here, it's like 4 hours. For John, it's like 5 days to drive to Ensenada. Triple Barrel says, Profit Air's live shit. All right, Triple Barrel, you got final answer. 200 or 300. I'll give you a chance to lock it in. See a bunch of 200s and 300s in there. Happy Face, you got final answer. 200 works. Happy Face, final answer. Jeff chiming in. All right, Happy Face, we're going with the call. You took too long. John, what are you doing here?
This is easy.
Oh, 300 final answer. I'll let that count. Go ahead. This is easy, you said.
Yeah, 300 was super deep. We're like 250 big ones deep. Looks like very early in the tournament. My standard open size would be 3x here.
Yeah, I think so too. When we're super deep, we should definitely be sizing up. And 250 bigs deep, we are hella deep. So 300, I think, is the right answer. If we were shorter, I think that's when min raises start to happen, right? For like 60 bigs and under-ish.
Yeah, it's all about the average chip stack at the table. If your table has average chip depth like 30, 40 big blinds, I'm making it, 2, 2.1, 2.2. If it's everyone's like 60 big blinds, 70 big blinds, 80 big blinds, I'll make it like 2.35, 2.4. But it's relative to the average chip stack at your table.
Yeah, totally a good way to go. John plays fewer tables than me. I play so many tables that I kind of do it like, I mean, pretty much, especially on some of the weaker sites, 2.5 down to like 60 bigs. And then under that, I start min raising. But if you, like John wants to do like 2.5 when you're 200 bigs, 2.3 or so when you're 100 down to 60, 2.2-ish, and then min raise, something like that, totally good. Cool. Do me a favor, John. I'll give you Triple Barrel. He did 200. I'll do 300, and that way we can keep tally the scores.
Oh, wait, so what am I clicking?
You were clicking 200.
200, okay.
Did you already click ahead?
Yeah, but it's okay.
You hit your trigger finger?
What is it? 657.
657.
657.
I think you can just hit refresh.
Too late. I got it though.
Cool.
All right, I'm in.
Cool. You click 200. I'll
Fine,
click
fine.
300 for happy face. And let's go.
This is a fine spot just to raise it up to 300. You may think 200 is better because you want to raise to 2 big blinds with everything, but I think in general you're going to find that with deeper stacks you want to raise a little bit larger. Usually 3 big blinds. I discussed this all the way back in my first tournament book. You want to be raising bigger so you can get more money in the pot if you feel inclined. Because pots grow exponentially, and your raising range is typically better than the ranges yet to act, so you are usually going to want to be able to make the pot big if you have the opportunity. You don't want to raise too big, because if you raise too big pre-flop, then everyone just folds out their junk. But this is a fine spot to raise to 300. If you said even 400 or 450, I don't think that would be insane if you're playing 50, 100 with a 100 big blind Andy. That could be fine too. So like maybe even bigger is fine. So you make it 300, get 2 callers. Flop comes king, queen, 10, and they check to me. Should we check, bet 300, bet 600, or bet 900?
All right, guys. So I definitely like the larger raise when we're super deep. And now we get a pretty interesting board. It's an action board for sure. Yeah, John, I think you heard it. John and I, the other John, Game of Edges is going to click one answer, and I'm going to click this one. And yes, I made him click the 200 on purpose just to get to him.
Yeah, so 200 was 7 points.
7 points, so pretty close. Cap, better late than never. You didn't miss much, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everyone making fun of you because I'm having to pick to 200. I think that's funny. Triple Barrel says 900, so that's going to be your answer for this one, John.
Okay.
Show says 600. Interesting. Mendo's checking. Emerson checking. Happy Face going 600. Okay. Wet board 60% is 600 indeed. They're trying to use your reaction as an.
Wow, you didn't have to maintain a poker face for this. All right.
Black Wild 2 pair combos, I think, bet 600 says Cap. John, what are you doing?
I'm just checking here. Facing. All right, so I like the fact we have an open-ended straight draw. That's great, obviously. I don't like the fact there's 2 diamonds board. We're going with diamond. It's not a board texture. Like to me, we're gonna win a showdown a lot of time with this high king. If we didn't have a jack, like I don't know, something weaker, like king 8, king 8 suited, I guess I would open from the hijack. But either way, we're just checking here, trying to get the showdown. Obviously, it's nice that we have the open a straight draw as well. But we don't get raised off his hand. And what worse is calling you? Like weaker kings. The weaker king you get 2 streets anyway from. So you look at value from turn and river. And everything worse is never going to call, really. So.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm checking these boards too. I think this is a board that a lot of people bet at, and I think it's a bit of a mistake. You said if you had king 8, you would bet.
No, I wouldn't. I would check.
You would check always. Check all.
But I would check all my marginally made hands, and a weak king, would be a marginally made hand.
Totally agree.
King jack's obviously a little stronger, but again, I'm just checking here.
And if we do get raised on this board, like we really don't love getting raised on this board, right? Like it's going to be a lot of 2 pairs. We have the jack, so it's a lot of less open-ended straight draws, and I think they do that less when we're this deep too. Most people with the pair jack are just going to call, I think, more than raise. I just think it gets super sticky and super awkward.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. The hands you beat, you're never going to get 3 sheets of value from anyway. So why don't we just, we're not really afraid of many turns besides exactly a diamond. And this deep stack, people are going to draw anyway to diamond, perhaps even check raise you with a diamond. So it's not like you're getting those hands to fold. So I'm okay just checking here.
Yeah, totally. And like you alluded to, like this hand doesn't really need protection. That's why I was asking about king 8, because that hand does need a little protection. But multi-way, I think it's still kind of sticky. If you were heads up with king 8, would you bet it? Or are you still checking that marginal?
No, I'm just checking.
Always checking.
The small blind is a little stronger. Yeah, that guy's a small blind, right? Yeah. Small blind's a little stronger range than like the big blind.
Sure.
So you could hit this board a little bit, but
Yep. Cool. All right, let me catch up here. Cool. I'm going 600, and you were going 9, I think, right?
900. Yep.
All right, let's do it.
This is a neat spot because
10 points.
if you think about the range that most small blind players will have, it should actually connect pretty well with this board. And if your opponent is going to connect pretty well with this board, that means we are going to want to be betting with a more polarized range. So then the question becomes, is this hand good enough to value bet into 2 players? And I think it's definitely close. If you studied all of the challenges at pokercoaching.com, that you want to make sure your checking range is always decently well protected. And clearly if we check back the flop here, we're just not folding very often, which is nice. If we bet here and get raised, we cannot really fold, but we could actually be in quite bad shape against either the nuts already or 2 pair or perhaps a really good draw. And for that reason, I think checking's just okay. I think I would typically like a check in the spot, especially if I get the vibe my opponents like their hands. If this would be very different if I was just against the big blind, or even against like the button in the big blind. In general, though, small blind calling ranges, if the opponents are competent, should be lots of just good, strong big cards and suited connectors. And good, strong big cards and suited connectors clearly connect very well with this board. So I typically proceed with caution in this scenario. So check, check, check. Turns at 7. They check to me again. Should we check, bet 300, bet 600, or bet 900?
All right. I always love it when we talk about these things and then we hear the coach and they kind of mirror our conversation. Always a good feeling. Let you know you're on the right track.
Cool, yeah.
Check 10 points. 600 was 6 points. How much was 900?
8 points.
8 points. A little better. That might bridge the gap there. This is a close race, guys. All right. What are you doing now? Checks to you twice. Now, I think it's all the same options for the bet sizes. Jeff, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Triple says, no more time to dilly-dally. No more selling seashells by the seashore for Sally. No more going back to Cali. No more rewinding the clock. No more TikTok. He's got all the rhymes today. And there must be 600 now, says Triple. That's going to be for you, a game of edges. Yep, 600 for Emerson. Sell some trucks. Yeah. 900 says Kep. Delayed C-bet. 600 stars. They could go for some more value, Marlon. How much? 600, he says. My gut says 600, but I'm wondering if we don't go 900 to accept value from single pair plus draw combos. Happy Face going 600, so that's one for me. Triple Barrel, time to get your final answer in. 900. He upped it. He wanted to go different than Happy Face. He's leveling.
I tried not to make a reaction.
I got a little twitch.
I think 600 or 900 is fine. I like on the bigger side though because wait, can I start now?
Yeah, absolutely. We got interest from both people.
Yeah. I mean, now that you checked that and you checked and then they check turn, I think you have a clear value bet. I like bigger size and the draw. Price out the drawers. Even if you get check raised, you're happily calling. Like I said, this is a two street value hand, so we're gonna begin getting value now and. Yeah, I like the bigger sizing because the fact that you check flop, your opponents might think you're weak, maybe value bend with a queen or a 10. So you get more value from hands if they are checking back, weak kings and stuff. Yeah, I think it's a triple set 900. I agree with 900.
Yeah, this one's really close for me. I know that when we're this deep, where our big bet should be bigger, closer to pot, maybe sometimes even over pot. Not over pot in this scenario, but sometimes. And then our smaller bets should be, closer to 40 to 60% as well. Like all our bets get bigger when we're this deep. So I can see 900. I think in game I just kind of snap 600. But I think 900 is probably right. 600 is super close. I almost want to split the difference and go like 750.
Yeah, I think in the game I would do something like that as well. 3/4 pot sounds real nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think either way is a mistake, to be honest with you. Just don't go small. I think now you got to start on bigger than half pot sizing now.
Definitely. And like you said, when they check twice, now we know they don't have 2 pairs and made straights because they're going to bet the turn themselves for sure. Right?
Yep.
All right. 600 for Happy Face, 900 for you, Game of Edges. Let's see what goes on.
900 is 10.
Once we get checked to again, we have the best hand pretty much every time.
Super
and
close.
There are a lot of inferior hands our opponents can call with if we bet. So we're going to want to bet this hand. In general, when it goes check, check, check on the flop, and then they check to you again on the turn, that's usually a spot where you want to be making a big bet in general just because their ranges are very, very
condensed or capped, right? Your opponents probably don't have a straight here very often. So this is a spot where I typically just want to be betting on the big size in general, and also I'm betting with what is now essentially a polarized range of just my good hands that can extract value, right? So I do expect to have the best hand. The board is very coordinated, meaning I can bet bigger in general with my best hands. And I like a 900 bet. I definitely do not like a small bet because, like, if someone has a queen or a 10, they're just not folding to any reasonable bet. And usually a queen or a 10 has an ace or a jack or a 9 with it. So, like, we don't mind just protecting our hand and getting more money in the pot while we are the favorite. So I do bet 900. Big blind calls. River is a 10. And the opponent checks. Should we check, bet 1,000, bet 2,000, or bet 3,000?
Interesting. This is an interesting board. I think this happens a lot. Triple says, +1 going all in blind. What's your total score there? Give me veggies.
15.
How much?
Oh, no, 25.
10, 18, 24. You're right. You're up by 1. Oh, shit.
We don't die, we multiply.
Pete, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Zarad, I missed that one too. Thank you for the follow, buddy. Cool. What you guys doing? Check. 1K, 2K, 3K. Show coming out with the 2K. Check for Deli. Check for Emerson. Kept going 1K for a blocker and a fold to a raise. What's going to call you that's worse, says Emerson? Uh-oh, machine gun's checking. That's kind of scary. Happy face going check. All right. Triple barrel going bet 1K. All right. Check your only can call me better, says Poke on my mind. John, what do you think?
I definitely like sticking with my game plan. I'm going for 2 streets of value.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably one of the worst rivers. I guess a queen would be worse, but a 10's pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna bet now. I'm gonna bet on the bigger side with the intention of fold into a raise. I think that's pretty nice. This is gonna be player dependent for me. If I'm versing someone who I think is very good, or pro, or someone I think is very confident, I would actually check back here because I know they're capable of check raising as a bluff with like busted diamond drawers and whatnot. But if I'm versing like the average player, I'm always value betting here.
And you said the large size, so was that 3? That was 2K.
Yeah, like 2K. I like, yep. Would triple say?
Triple said 1K.
1K. Okay, I'm gonna click 1K.
People ask what call. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I think we still give call for a queen, especially when we check the flop. I'm a little conflicted about the 1K or 2K myself, and agree always folding to a raise. I'm wondering if the 1K bet kind of induces the raise sometimes because it looks like a blocker.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was seeing, I was thinking if he did have a low king, which he could definitely have in the big blind, right?
Sure.
Like any weak king suited, he should be calling. Any queen should be calling. So I think I look a little bluffy here, like a busted jack draw, like straight open end straight draw, a busted flush draw, that perhaps didn't see bet flop. And I think if that garbage will fall anyway, so that's why I'm betting 2K.
Yeah, I think you talked me. I think I'm probably going 2K. I think I'm probably going 2K too. Check for me though. 1K for you from Men of the Hour. Check back is what you'd really do, but but Triple Barrel's trying to go for the $5 win. All right, so you're betting. I'm checking. You're betting 1K.
Yes. 1K is 10 points.
Oh, we like the blocker, huh?
The 10 is actually a pretty rough river, but unless the opponent had exactly the 10, we still have the best hand almost every time. So I think it's probably okay to go for a value bet. If we are going to value bet, we want to bet either small or medium because you always want to think, what am I trying to get called by? Well, the main hand is a queen, right? So I think 1,000 bet will still get called by a queen a decent amount of the time. Obviously, if you thought your opponent would check raise you with a very well-balanced range, you should probably just check behind. But most people will not, especially in $1,000 tournaments or smaller buy-in tournaments. They're just going to check raise when they have a 10. So I think we have a pretty easy value bet in this situation just because it's quite easy for a queen to still call a small bet. As you bet bigger and bigger, what's going to end up happening is then when you do bet and get called, you're going to be against mostly a king, which we're chopping against, or a 10, and that's not good. So that's why you don't want to be betting a bigger size here. So I think 1,000 is probably fine. I think people may start folding a queen to 2,000, so I like 1,000 bet. Opponent calls, and we win.
Awesome. Yeah, my gut was telling me about that 1K too. I was arguing with myself. I was kind of feeling it. I hear you. Arm blocker bets just for out of position. I mean, this one show we're just kind of, it's about what you're targeting, right? Targeting the queen. Jonathan Little believed that there's so many Johns. There's show 540 who's John. There's John Game of Edges, and there's John Little. Jonathan Little thought the queen might fold for 2K, which may or may not. It's got a question mark, especially in these lower buy-in tournaments. 1K live is probably the equivalent to like somewhere between $11 and $50 online tournament, something like that, talent-wise. So yeah, awesome. Triple barrel. Congratulations on your win, my man. Congratulations on your win. Happy? Hell of a fight, buddy. So triple barrel, whisper me your either ACR screen name or a PayPal email address so I can send you your money. In the meantime, we're just going to leave the poker coaching up there. It's poker coaching, no exclamation point. Just type poker coaching in the chat, and you can get up to compete for the next $5 battle. Meanwhile, I'm going to click back to quizzes and try and find another one. You did win, Jeff. Jeff, you're always a winner. You're always a winner on this stream, Jeff. It's funny, I look at all these gaps, and most of them are poor assassinato. Mostly because we were having volume issues, and it's tough with a 10-minute explanation. All right, what about 710? Affleck in the main. Sound good?
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
All right, guys. Give you a couple seconds to get it in here. Triple barrel, don't forget to whisper me.
All right.
Game of Ed is trying to cheat and get ahead. I can hear his video
I'm
playing.
trying to keep it at the beginning so I can listen along with you.
Give me a couple of seconds here. All right, let's draw two winners. Who was that?
We don't die.
G-Man Meatball, thank you for the follow. Welcome, buddy. All right, let's draw for the competitors. First competitor is Mr. Emerson. Second competitor is Drenning. Guys, let me know you're out there. Emerson, I'm pretty sure I saw you. Dremming, let me know you're out there. You want Emerson or Dremming? Game of Edges?
You pick.
Who's the second one? You get Drenning. I'll take Emerson.
Sounds good.
Oh, Mad Dog, man. I will be having you in my thoughts, buddy. Heal up and come back soon, man. Hope it's not too serious. Alex quizzes are 55 minutes each. Yeah. When we do them, we always have the caveat. Like, if it's more than 4 minutes, we're going to summarize and skip ahead. All right, there's Emerson. And Drenning, I don't see you out there, buddy.
Yeah, I don't see him either. I'm trying to look for him.
So what I'll do is we'll play the video, and if he's not here by the end of the video, we'll just redraw.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, everyone, we're back with some more hand quizzes. We got a good batch of WSOP main event hand histories. The next 20 or 30 quizzes I do will be all from the WSOP main event. So they should be kind of in chronological order. So these hands will all be on day one, and then I'll mention it in the thing when we get to day two of the main event, so you can kind of follow along. So here we have the King 8 of clubs. We're under the gun +1. It folds to us. Should we fold, call, or raise to 1,000?
Can't wait to play this main someday, fall. Is there still a chance? I would say chances are probably low, in my opinion, that there's a World Series this year, a live one. And there say chances are even lower that I would attend even if there was one, to be honest. And I live here. I'm trying real hard not to stay around thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird fucking time, Triple Barrel.
Sadly, I think poker is the last thing that's going to come back, tournament poker.
Yeah, it's a weird thing too in this city because we rely so heavily on tourism and gambling in general. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be real interesting to see what happens to Vegas. If this stays closed forever, all the dealers, the valets, the waitresses, the bartenders, all those people are not working. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, I don't see Drenning, so we're gonna draw for someone to compete against Emerson. It's gonna be, it's the machine gun, 35 Marlin, Ruh-roh, in the house. So I'm getting Emerson. You got machine gun, game of edges.
Machine gun, okay.
What are we doing? 35 Marlin is his real name, nickname machine gun.
Gotcha.
He's gonna
That's
be betting.
Marlon.
He's gonna be betting a lot.
That's good.
Let's go, Marlon. You're up, buddy. All right, King 8 suited. Jeff knitting it up, but if not, 1K, he says. Marlon, what you doing? Emerson, what you doing? What y'all doing? Let us know. Anyone playing King 8 suited under the gun 1? Uber deep. Machine gun says 1K. Emerson says 1K too. You playing this hand, Game of Edges?
I probably fold it, to be honest with you. It's like right at the cusp, I feel like. King 9 suited for sure.
Mm-hmm.
King 8 suited, no straight potential. I don't know, I just fold.
Not a fan. I'm actually playing this one. For me, it's King 9 suited under the gun and King 8 suited here. So I would actually play this one too for 1K. Easy 1K raise, but there's a little bit of controversy in the chat. Some
Yeah, I mean,
raises,
I
some
don't think it's a
folds.
mistake either
It
way,
is the
you know?
bottom. It is the nut bottom of the range there. As far as kings go.
And then the fact that he's decent Russian, I don't know. Because I'm looking at odds are you're going to play against the big blind most of the time.
Yeah.
So if he's decent, if he's a fish, I would for sure open.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to open my ranges wide against like weak big blinds, but if a decent player, especially like an aggressive player, I'd rather have a better hold-in fight.
Sure, makes sense. Triple Barrel says easy fold, but it's 10 points. Wouldn't be 10 points for a fold here. Don't be fooled, Triple Barrel. There are spots in this where they will trick you, and the fold could be the right answer. For sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They do that. All right, so what? Emerson says 1K, and Marlon says 1K, so we're both going 1K.
1K. All right, you clicking?
Yep.
This hand is a cuspy hand for me. King 9 suited is a pure open for me. King 8 suited is not an open here normally. If I was like under the gun +2, I would probably pure open it. But this is a pretty soft table. There was only one really good player, and no one was really 3-betting a lot. Super deep stacks, so I was perfectly fine opening a King 8 suited. Folding it's fine as well, but if you're a skilled post-flop player and you think you have an edge, you want to get in as many pots as possible. Raising to 1,000, I gave a score of 10. In terms of sizings, normally I give multiple sizings on the quiz. You could raise to 800, 1,000, 900. It's really not a huge deal either way. Just stick to the strategy. We're pretty deep stacked, so I think we should be raising a little bit bigger here. So we raise it up, and we get 2 calls from the button, who's tight and competent, and the big blind, who is a decent Russian player. Jack 10-3, 2 clubs, and it checks to us. Should we check? Bet 1,200, bet 2,400, or bet 3,600?
All right, guys, pick up a nice little draw here. What y'all doing? 1,200, 2,400, 3,600. Toe, what is the bottom of your range in this spot to open? As far as kings go, this is it. I love how, I was saying this before, how we were like, it's the very bottom, and Game of Edge was saying, sometimes against, I'll open this, sometimes I won't. And the first thing Matt says is, this is cuspy. It's right in the cuspy. So, right on track. I would open 9-10 suited here. I may 8-9 suited is kind of cuspy for me. And then probably 6s plus, something like that, as far as pairs. Offsuit ace, depending on the table, I'll open ace-10 off here. If it's a super tough table, I might fold ace-10 off and open ace-jack for sure. And then this deep, I'm probably opening any suited ace. Maybe fold ace-2, ace-3. It's kind of my range. Love it, hate it. What do you think, Game of Ages?
What does Marlon say?
I was just talking about general bottom range in this spot.
In this spot, I like betting, Steve Ben for sure. I think it'd be a mistake to use a small season. I see a lot of people saying 1,200. I think that's not good because it's such a wet board.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am going to bet, my entire bend range is going to be on the bigger side. So I would bet 2,400 personally. Obviously it's nice we have flush draw. I like the fact a queen or a 9 gives us open-ended straight draw. We have the king overcard, and yeah, we have no showdown. So I definitely like C-bet here. This is nice bluff to have. So
Interesting.
I'm gonna be
What's the bottom of your opening range in this spot in general pre-flop?
pre-flop king 9 suited.
What's like your worst suited connectors and worst pairs and worst suited aces?
Under the gun, probably 8-7 suited. Under the gun +1. I'll open all pocket pairs this deep. So 8-7 suited, king 9 suited. Obviously, all the ace X suited you could open. As far as I think I fold ace 10 off. I'll open ace jack off though. And then king jack off I'll open. King 10.
So pretty similar.
Yeah,
You're going a little further on the pairs than me, which I know I need to loosen up there. So
you just got to be competent. Like you just can't get carried away post flop with them. That's the biggest thing I've learned with pocket pairs. Like, because you got like the weakest. Usually you have a under pair. You have like the weakest showdown. Only thing you really be is ace high, and I feel like a lot of people like get into hero mode for some reason.
Sure.
So
hard to make a pair and hold them, so they just hold on for dear life.
And you gotta remember when you open weak pocket pairs from early position, you have 0 blockers. So like that plays a factor. Deep stack you can't get in too much trouble, but low stack like 30 big blinds, 40 big blinds, you gotta start folding like pocket 2s, pocket 3s, pocket 4s under the gun. Like you're gonna get yourself in trouble with these hands.
And you're just gonna burn chips. Like, yeah. I agree 100%.
It's so hard to maneuver post flop with these hands because you're only gonna flop a set 1 out of 10 times.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so triple plus says 1,200. So it says check, realize equity. Emerson's going 2,400, so that's my bet. Check and realize equity says Jelly 24, 12 for Big Town, 24, 12, 12, lots of 12s. 12s. Marlon's going big. He's going 3,600 here.
Let me know exactly when you click. So I'll get. Okay.
Marlon's going 3,600. I'm a little conflicted. Only because there's someone behind us. And so that makes me want to check when I'm in the middle. Otherwise, it would definitely be 2,400. I think in game, I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably check in the middle and always bet if I had position myself, and then I'm just always calling a bet, especially on Jack 10 combo. Like, I just think there's a lot of pain out there there's lots of draws and lots of pair and draw combos and that kind of thing. I guess not so much draws when we have King 8, but lots of pairs and stuff like that.
I just have I don't like the fact we have 0 showdown value now,
which usually means you should bet.
Yeah. Maybe you netted ace high flush draws you could check.
Definitely. Yeah, sure. That makes a lot of sense too. Maybe King 8's just kind of on the low end. All right. I could definitely see it. Marlon going 36. I'm going 24. Yes. Clicking it now. Ready?
Yep.
All right.
On these multi-way pots, you want to be very careful. You're facing 2 ranges, so it's hard to have more than 35-40% equity. Break-even equity would be 33% 3 ways, but we're against 2 ranges that should be fairly wide. The button is flatting all the pairs, suited connectors, suited aces, etc., and then the big blind could be flatting a whole bunch of stuff. We have a strong draw here. We can turn a lot of backdoor straight draws as well to barrel on, and a lot of good cards for us to barrel on. We can barrel on an ace, a king, a queen, a 9, etc. A lot of good possibilities here, so I like betting for sure. Betting 1,200, I give a score of 10, 2,408. It is a pretty dry board, and the board is going to get very nasty, so I don't like building a huge pot in this spot because the board texture is going to change a lot on later streets. So when the board texture is going to change a lot, I kind of want to bet on the smaller side, keep the pot smaller so that we're not in a bigger pot if we have to bluff catch later on. That's why I'm betting 3,600. I give the lowest score of 3. I prefer checking more than that. We bet 1,200, 12 or 2,400. I think are both fine. You can check every once in a while, but I'd rather check the nut flush draw with the ace of clubs or the 10 of clubs, like 10 9 of clubs, 10 8 of clubs, those type of flush draws. Button folds, big blind calls, 9 of spades, checks to us. Should we check, bet 2,000, bet 4,000, or bet 6,000?
Gets a little interesting again. Sorry about the echo, guys. We got it worked out.
That was my fault. I really want to hear the answer.
You got headphones?
So I was like listening. Sorry about that, guys.
You got headphones? Headphones? You have headphones? Can you hear me, John?
Do I have earphones? Yeah, I do.
Because then you can hear both. You get the best of both worlds.
I'm good. By the time I set it up, I don't always say one's time.
Cool. No problem. All right, guys. So how many points was 3,600?
3,600 was 3 points.
3 points. 8 points for the 2,400. He likes the small bet multi-way. I can definitely see it. Listening to 2 Matt Afflecks is pretty cool. I'm learning twice as much, twice as fast. See? Show 540. Seeing the glass half full. I love it. Picked up by sub no showdown. Half the fire, says John. 4K. Size up for value. 6K for Big Town Brown. 4K for Bendo. Emerson, my man, betting 4K. Black Bolton's in the straight, so barely again. 2K for Kep. Peanut going 6. We got all sorts of bet sizes here. G-Man Meatball. Bet 4K would prefer 3K. Half pot. 4K for Cyrus. Marlon, where you at, buddy? I think it's a bet since we got more equity. And if we bet, we get raised. Life sucks. 4K for Triple Barrel. Marlon. Where are you, Jeff?
Marlon,
did you fall asleep in your lazy boy again? 2K. All right, there you go. 2K for Marlon, 4K for Emerson. What do you think?
So this is one of the turns we wanted to hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is obviously a great turn. Obviously not a flush, but I think this is like the next best card.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a huge amount of equity in his hand. Got to be Ben here. We have a great draw with 0 showdown. Like this like cliche spot to semi bluff. I mean personally, I use a 4K sizing. What about you, Toe? What do you think?
I'm with you 100%. Picked up equity. We got no showdown. I'm always going to go smaller on the flop, bigger on the turn. I'm all 4K all day. No problem. Yep. I love it. I absolutely love it. Gil going 400 too. Emerson went 4K as well. So I'm going 4. You're going 2.
Yes.
Let's see what's up.
Interesting turn card. Obviously pretty good for our specific hand. We turn an open-ender to go along with our flush draw. In terms of our range, we still have aces, kings, queens at pretty much full frequency. We have ace-jack. We have all of the jack-10 suiteds. We have all of the jacks, all the 10s. We're probably opening 3s if we're opening the king-8 suiteds. We got all the sets. And we have full frequencies of king-queen. And we'll have the 8-7 of clubs and the 8-7 of hearts. So we have a lot of straights, a lot of straights and strong hands here. So this is a pretty good card for our range. The big blind can have those hands as well, but he has a lot of other stuff too, so he has them less often than we do. So I definitely like betting. Checking, I gave a score of 5. Betting small 2,000, and I don't really like it all. I like the 2 bigger sizes, 4,000 or 6,000. I said bet 4,000 was a score of 10, 6,000 is a score of 6. I like both of those options. We're deep stack. We want to build a pot here with a lot of our, king queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 3s, jack 10 suited, etc. And we can balance it with these. We have a lot of big draws too. Ace queen of clubs, king, ace king, ace queen of clubs, ace 8 of clubs, king 8 of clubs. So a lot of these big combo draws. We bet 4. He calls. River is the 7 of hearts. He checks. Should we check? Bet 4,000, bet 7,000, or bet 11,000.
All right, guys, let me just do. Marlon, no problem if you're thinking, buddy. Just put something in the chat that you're, give me a or something, just so I know you're out there, man. Because, yeah. Need to do so much work on my bet sizings. Yeah, that was, funny, Kep, you say that, like, of all the things that, like, evolved in my game over the years, for some reason, like, nailing down some of these bet sizes was one of the last things for me. I was always betting too big, and then I was betting too small, and then I wasn't betting big when I should bet big and betting small when I should bet small. I got it all mixed up. Yeah, that was actually one of the things that was kind of challenging for me for some reason. So I feel you on that one. It's just something to practice and just keep getting better at. Need to did that one. Calling a check raise to 15K. Is that a question for the turn there, Jellyfish? Triple Barrel, I folded pre, but since we misclicked, now we got to play it right. I love that, Triple Barrel. That's right. Now that you're in this post-flop situation, it's good to play it well. 11K for triple, 11K for machine gun. That one's for you, Game of Edges. 4K for Value Town, says Cyrus. 11K from the Teen Toe guys. 4K, Jelly trying to get called by the most he can. Emerson betting 7. All right, so you are going 11, I'm going 7. Bunch of 11s. Where's my overbet option? Interesting. I have thoughts on that too. Hey, good morning / afternoon, Ginger. Now you said it going 11. Lots of 11Ks out there. John, what do you think?
So, thing I'm thinking is where we get value from. Not much, right? 2 pairs or better, he would have raised us at some point. So trying to get called by a weak jack, a 10, or even weaker hand than that. I honestly think like smaller is better here. It's kind of like a leveling war though. Like you could go big thinking he's thinking you're bluffing, but I don't know. Don't forget Queen Jack is there too, and we definitely have Queen Jack in our range, so he might not want to like call off wide at all if we bet big. So I mean personally I'm going 4K, but I don't know. I guess like 7K is good too though.
Yeah, I'm actually convicted. Like I know, I call it swinging the hurt hammer, and in game I'm not going to control myself. I'm gonna have a seizure and bet 11K. However,
I meant to say King Queen. Sorry.
King Queen in range, yeah, too with the other straight. Yeah. But I kind of agree with you. Like when we bet 11K, we lose the 10 for sure. The weak jack has a hard time calling, so I'm kind of leaning towards 7 myself. 4 seems a little small. I think he was going to call for 4. He might call for 7.
Like if I have King Queen right now, I'm trying to get value from an 8.
Yeah.
But like now that you have 8 blockers, less likely he has 8. So
and I could see again something like 5,500, something like that as well, like 40% pot, just a little bigger than the 4K. 4K seems small to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I think 7K is probably the right answer. That's probably the way to go, to be honest too.
Emerson, I think, went 7. Yep, and Machine Gun went 11. Small blind never has a straight though. Has to raise a turn. Agreed. That's probably true. 7K gets called more than 11K here, I feel like, but it might go 11K some jam. Yep. I always go meaty with most of my value bets on the river. I need to find some balance. Yeah, because it's about what you're targeting. Show 540.
Yeah,
you gotta think of what's calling.
Called
right?
by, like we always have to think stuff. What are we gonna get called by?
And also his play was kind of weak, right? It was check call. There was no raises in here, so he doesn't have sets. He probably doesn't have the king queen.
Doesn't have 2 pair unless if it connects with the 7.
Yeah, unless he hit 2 pair on the river. So because he's weak, I think we need to size down a little bit here. All right, so Emerson going 7, you're going 11. Let's see what happens.
So pretty good river card for us. We river the straight. Nothing else much changes other than we have some ace 8 and king 8 suiteds that made the 1 card straight here. The thing, we don't have a lot of bluffs here now. All our 8x got there. We have some ace queen and ace king, but I don't know if we want to be bluffing with those. It's hard for us to turn up here with a ton of bluffs, and so I don't think we get a bet huge just because we don't have a lot of bluffs. So I want to bet on the smaller side because we don't have a lot of bluffs in our range. So I like betting 7,000 half pot, score 10, 4,000 and score 5, checking 3, and betting 11,000. I just don't like a lot because we shouldn't have a lot of bluffs here.
Yeah, pretty much echo what we said, right?
We bet 7,000, our opponent called, and we won the hand.
There you go. Shit, well, that was a learning experience. Awesome, Marlon. That's what we're here for, right, buddy? I mean, if you're going to blow up a hand, blow it up here, right? This is where it costs you nothing. You get better. All good, brother. All good. Emerson, you fucking crushed this one, my man. 38 out of 40. My man. Hit me up. Let me know how you want your $5. ACR or PayPal. Let me know your screen name. I know it's close to what your Twitch name is, but I don't want to fuck up any numbers or anything at the end, so let me know. All right, guys. I'm going to change the keyword just because some people might not still be here. And so I don't want to draw someone like dreading again. Let's do... What's a good keyword? Game of Edges?
Let's make it like, I don't know.
We put him on the spot. Let's do WSOP.
There you go. I was thinking that, actually.
There you go. Like mines.
Triple Bow says we have no bluffs because we have the 8 and 2 clubs, right?
Yeah.
We still have the ace X of clubs bluffs.
That's true.
That's probably what he put us on. I'm assuming he called us wide. We didn't see his hand, but he probably called us pretty wide.
No exclamation point. That's funny. Mendo found a command that I didn't even know was there. It's a good clip, though.
Ace Queen's also a bluff we would have.
Absolutely. Because he blocked the nuts. Absolutely. All right, let's pick a quiz while we're waiting. Quiz number 3. All right, I'm going to scroll back up and get rid of some of these assassinados. Now, caveat, though, like I said, if Assassinado goes crazy and he's got like a 6-minute video, we're going to summarize. Oh, here's a 109 Sunday Tournament USA. 920?
920, okay.
It's probably on ACR. Similar to what a lot of you guys play. All right, Emerson, I got you, homie.
Ace Jack suit, that's a fun one.
Hey guys, so
Yeah. Does yours auto play right when you click it?
Yeah, it just auto plays. So I have to like back up and then I have to click pause right
No,
away.
that's weird. Yeah, mine doesn't auto play. What browser are you using?
Edge right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
I have Chrome too, but I'm using Edge because my Chrome has my other poker coaching membership. So I'd rather just
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to
I'd
forget
rather
your
just-
password.
Yeah. Well, that and yeah, this is the premium too, so it's a little better.
Sure. All right. Well, you still there?
I'm here.
Signed up because I signed in on another device. What is that? I got a Zoom warning. That was weird. All right, guys, let's draw the winners. Next competitor is Com Binkley. Feels like every week you would get the lucky draw to compete against my main man, Show 540, Team Toe legend. Com, I see you. John, I know you're in here. John, this is Show 540. In the hot seat, John. Let's go. Ready to play it? I should call you Other John. Other John, you're in the hot seat. John,
So we have
Gilbert
Show?
You're a killer. Ready to go?
Wait, sorry. Who do we have? Show and who?
Show 540 and Com Binkley. So you got Show 540.
All right, sounds good. Let's go.
We'll
Show.
put the two Johns together.
J squared. Let's
J
go.
squared. All right, ready to play it?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
hey guys, so in this hand you are in a $109 Sunday tournament on an American-facing site, although it does have players from all over the world. You have Ace of Clubs, Jack of Spades on the button, and the start of this hand, Under the Gun opens, and Villain 13 goes ahead and calls from Under the Gun +1. You have 4,944 chips before the ante. Round that, 4,877. Here, would you like to, at blinds at antes 30, 60 with an ante of 7 here, would you like to fold? Would you like to call? Would you like to raise to 455? Or would you like to raise to 673?
All right, guys. Ace Jack on the button with some action up front. What y'all think? On the button, man, GM. Cap just coming along on the button. Emerson with the squeeze to 673. Triple going the other way with the call as well. Poker on my mind, 673. JPG, 455. Couple of calls. Com coming in with 673. That's my man. Ginger calling. Oh, but they're both going 673. You like to squeeze here, Game of Ages?
Yeah, I like the 3-bet squeeze for sure. This is a good bluff to do it with. We block, a lot of key hands. And I just don't think this hand plays too well post-flop, even though in position. So I think this is a pretty nice spot to 3-bet bluff.
This is like my number one favorite squeeze / 3-bet bluff hand ever. 673 is the only way, right? 453, 455, just too small?
Yeah, 673, I would click that.
Totally agree.
Personally, and my show also agrees, so we'll go with that.
Totally agree. Let's find out.
Let me ask you a question before we discuss your answer. Do you think the average person from the United States, and most of these players are Americans, do you think they fold Jack 10 offsuit there under the gun when this person's sitting out? Do you believe they fold 5-6 of diamonds? Do you think they fold Queen Jack offsuit, King Jack offsuit? Do you think they fold 10-8 suited, Jack 9 suited? My personal belief, and I've done a lot of study to prove this, is the average punter, average recreational player does not fold these hands. Now, if you're playing in a game with mostly regular players, if you're playing even some 2-5 games, but higher than that, if you're playing tournaments a little bit more higher stakes with good players, this hand belongs in the muck. If you're playing with recreational players who just have a ton of chips and they want a reason to open, they see any suited capper and that's good enough, you have to apply the pressure right now. I was lucky enough that I almost made the million final table on this very site just a few weeks back, and most of it was just doing this, was applying pressure when somebody opened too much. That was the easiest way to take advantage of people and to win big pots. So what happens is if you have one guy here who's likely just opening anything he feels like, and you have another person who's calling with likely anything they feel like, and you have a lot of room to work with here, and they're kind of loose passive players, recreational players, like you would get in these big tournaments, right? That have thousands upon thousands of people, such as those Sunday Millions, such as this one was a 109, but also a very big major on a Sunday, right? Not a very big major on a Sunday, but very large field on a Sunday. You got to start asking yourself, how can I apply pressure? Now, what do you think would be a better raise, 4-5-5 or 6-7-3? Ask yourself what you want to accomplish. If you're saying, I want both players to fold, that's very unlikely these days. Someone is going to call you. But what is likely is you could get one guy to fold. And that's likely if you bump it up just a little bit. If you said even like 750 here in your head, or 800, I do think that has a lot of merit. Since I gave you these two options, I think the option that would work best is 6-7-3. And that will likely get one caller, not two. I think you could even go a little bit above that. If you notice this short stack, kudos to you, but you do have enough equity to call that person. So we do make it 6-7-3, and we get called by villain 12, but not villain 13. This is perfect. And we get this board, 10-7-2. And villain 12 checks to us. Here, would we like to check? Would we like to bet 506? Would we like to bet 712? Or would we like to bet 1025?
All right, guys. We put out the squeeze. We get called like we knew we were going to get one caller, right? Pick up a 7-10-2 board. What you gonna do now? For the longer explanations, 1.5 speed might be a good idea there, wondering. Triple G going 712 and Cyrus going 1025. 506 for Peanut Flesh. We got all three answers. Mendo 712, Kep 712, Meatball 712. Shut 540, your guy, Game of Ages going 506. Couple of checks. 712 poker. Yoda 12506. Emerson 506. I'm going 712 as well. Oh, I'm going 712. You're going 506. My bad. What do you think? What size are you going?
I'm going about 1/3 size, and so 506. I mean, we have a wide range open from blind. He has a wide range defend the big blind. So I like to bet often but small on these type of board textures, personally. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly in game be between 500 and 712, somewhere around 650. Which now I'm trying to level myself and see which way Alex is going to go. I'm not sure if he's going to go 506 or if he's going to go 712. 506 makes a lot of sense. We just got a ton of folds on this board. Safe chips. So I could definitely see that. It's kind of where I'm leading. Smaller.
Yeah. Me and Show on the same page with the 506.
Trying to get air to fold. No need to risk more than necessary on such a dry board. Keeps our range fairly uncapped. Well said. All right.
Yep, I agree.
Let's check it out.
I hope you bet something because this is a fairly good board. Now, what we know about people when they call 3 bets is they tend to have high cards. People like to play high cards in these pots, right? In bigger pots, people like big cards. They don't like middle cards as much or little cards as much. So if you see 2 cards above a 9, that's when you have to begin getting worried. Because if the board comes Queen 9X now, a lot of those Broadway combinations he's playing just made some straight draws or just made pairs or things of that nature. When you only have the 10 out there, you don't have to worry that much. So then the question becomes, what are you trying to accomplish? Well, since he's primarily going to have high cards right now, we assume you want to fold them out and cash out your equity. Because again, maybe Queen Jack doesn't think it has that great of a hand right now, but with the backdoor straight draws and the Queen overcard, actually does have a few cards that could help it. So if you just cash out your equity right here, that's not a bad thing. If you said bet 506, I think it's a little bit of a dangerous bet with the stack sizes. I think you'll likely get a call from a high card just once, so you do have to back that up with a turn bet. I thought 712 was the minimum you could get to fold high cards, and 1025 was just like you really want to make sure you get rid of high cards. So I did go with 712, and it did work. And if you ever wanted to know how to do this on Flopzilla, it's fairly easy. You can put a range you think he's calling the 3-bet with, then you put the board, and then you put your hand over here, and then just put a blue filter next to everything you think is calling or raising versus your c-bet. So I just put gut shot, weak pairs, anything like that. And it turned out that they only had a hand about 40% of the time, which means if they're folding high cards here, that's 60% folds. And you can play around with it here and, give them a few more of these Broadways and a few more of these 10s and see how it hurts you. You could give him some of these suited gappers. If you want to play with that, you'll still see that you could, if they're folding high cards here, it would still be 53% of the time. So your bigger bets would tend to work. If you bet 2/3 pot, that needs to work as an absolute bluff 40% of the time. Half pot needs to work 33% of the time. And if you bet even the size of the pot, it would need to work 50% of the time.
There you go, guys. Good explanation. Liked a little bit of a breaker bet. 8 points for the 506, right?
Yeah, 8 points. Yep.
So yeah, not a wrong answer by far. Super close. Super close. Super close. All right, cool. Bickley, you won again. I'm assuming you won the same as always. I got your message. I double checked. I got all your information. Yeah, killer you.
So
and that was a nice,
we have
short,
18.
sweet Alex Fitzgerald quiz. Look at that.
And if you guys, I think Flopzilla is a great tool to have. I think it's like $5, $10, or $15. So it's pretty affordable. I definitely recommend getting it. It's like a great tool. I use this in combination with like Eagle Labs and these are like the 2 main tools I use to study my play. So I personally think it's great, and I definitely recommend.
Yeah, I agree. Flopzilla, one of the kind of the standards. ICMizer and Flopzilla basically is the 2 keys, right? $25 for Flopzilla. I just looked it up.
Oh, sorry. I got it so long
Still
ago.
cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if you're playing the micro stakes, like it's definitely worth to get because you know, as long as you use it diligently, I would study your streams. I mean, you study your sessions. I think it'd be okay
Absolutely.
for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially for those of you guys playing like low stakes, mid stakes stuff, you probably don't need Pio as much and to go that deep. Flopzilla, Equilabs, ICMizer, and a good study group will probably get you a good part of the way there to beat those stakes. Should you ever really get 10 points on any street? It's never 100% on decision, right? I mean, there are definitely better decisions than others, and then there are some that are close, like 8 points for the one bet and 10 points for this one. I wouldn't say the 8-point bet is necessarily a mistake. Just 10-point answer was just a little better, you know. It's all kind of lands in the gray area, right?
Yeah, it just the answers the best of the available answers. That's what the 10 points represent. It doesn't represent the actual like best, choice. It's just the best of the choices, I think. That's what 10 points represent.
And you'll see times where Game of Edge Live too, like we'll say like, I probably wouldn't bet either of your sides. I'm going to split the difference. There's some of that in there too, for sure. Twisted Tony, what's up, man? Thanks for joining in. For those of you who are just joining in too, I'll give the rundown right now before we give it actually, let me get the quiz going and then we will, and then we'll give you the shilling. Keyword is, let's do
toe.
Let's do toe. All right. Type toe in the chat. No explanation point, nothing. Just toe. And we'll draw 2 winners to compete against each other. This is pokercoaching.com, Jonathan Little's coaching site, where I create content along with a host of amazing coaches, Crazy Sixes, Faraz, Jock, Alex Fitzgerald, Jonathan Little, Lecter Gavin, Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, and a bunch of others I'm sure I'm missing, James Romero, all those things. And they create a bunch of content. There's these quizzes. There's 950 of these quizzes. There's homework assignments that are really tough and challenging. There are charts up the wazoo. And the cool thing about this, too, it's kind of interactive, as you guys can see. And it's cool. Like, you try and get better scores so that you, get better. And as you get scores, you actually unlock other quizzes that, try to get scores on and then try to unlock other quizzes. And they kind of made it really interactive and a little bit video gamey, which is kind of a fun way to learn. We do this every Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And if you missed any one of these, you're having a good time. And you missed any one we've ever done in the past with me and Sixes, me and our special guest. We've had Game of Edges on before. We've had Greg Raymer. We've had Jesse Sylvia. We've had Evan Jarvis. We've had Matt Affleck. We've had Ben on Drew. A wealth of Fat Train, a bunch of other guests. We have some guests lined up coming up soon that we haven't announced yet. So all that is good and on the YouTube channel. Exclamation point PC in my chat will get you a link to sign up for free to pokercoaching.com. Exclamation YouTube will get you to the replays. And there you go. Make sure you are following this channel. Make sure you're following Game of Edges channel too. One's Nagy. I could get Nagy. The problem there, Triple Bad, I know you're kidding. The problem is there's a bit of a conflict of interest with Jonathan Little and Phil Nagy. I don't know if you watch any Jonathan Little content. He's not a fan. So I don't know how that'll blow over.
I just play NL. I just hold them, Jellyfish.
You just play Hold'em and you only tournaments.
Yeah.
Me
No,
too.
I
No, you cash?
play cash, live cash, online cash. I don't play, but I would play live cash.
Yeah. So I'm like only tournaments. If I'm gonna deviate, it's like sit and goes, which is still kind of tournaments. So yeah, like I don't enjoy cash games. It's just not for me. And Plo's got too much variance. I'm already gray and losing my hair in my old age. I don't need more variance in my life. I actually prefer like the stud games if I'm gonna play something else. I just kind of find those fun and different. Short deck is kind of fun too. You play any short deck?
No, I don't.
Kind of fun.
I would mess around with it, but nothing like serious. I wouldn't like sign up for like high buying event or anything.
No, me either. But it's kind of fun because it's close enough to hold them where it's comfortable and different enough where it's interesting.
Short
deck's super fun.
You see a lot of people overvalue hands for sure.
Yeah, and like everything's so close in equity because crazy.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And then straights are better than flushes, right? In short deck.
Straights are better than flushes, yeah, and yeah. All right, let's draw 2 guys. We got Mr. Cyrus, legend, and Big Town Brown, 2 legends of the stream. So you got Big Town Brown. I got Cyrus. Flushes beat full houses. Yeah, that's true too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know the rules. Okay.
Because all the cards in there are paint, so you get a lot of
Makes sense.
paint flops. All right, which quiz are we gonna do? Anything look good to you?
No, just you've been picking good ones, so just keep doing
Just
it.
been on a hot streak. All right, we're gonna scroll way down again. We just did Affleck. I'm sorry, we just did Alex. Those are Alex. That's Alex. That's Alex. We got a Matt Affleck down here at 744
All right.
with my Nemesis hand. I don't see any Romero that we haven't done there, Beats. I looked. All right, cool. You ready? 744?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's play it.
All right, in this hand we have, this is the first hand of day 2 of the main event. The very first hand dealt. So we get 2 kings, and under the gun, middle-aged woman. I don't know much about her. I'm assuming she's a weak recreational. I looked her up, and she had almost no cashes on Hendon Mob before the start of the day. She makes it 2,100. We 3-bet to 7,000. We're always going to 3-bet 2 kings here in this spot. Folds back, and under the gun calls. And the flop comes Queen Jack 8 Rainbow. Check. Should we check, bet 5,000, bet 8,000, or bet 13,000?
What are stacks? All right, cool. Here we go. We got the kings. Row. Bet, 3-bet, called. Queen Jack 8. What y'all doing? Anybody on Team Knit and checking? Anybody on Team Spaz and betting? Which team you on? 8 for triple. Cyrus curses the kings, looks menacing at the dealer, and bets. Full toe. Yeah, you guys know I'm a master at losing key moments with kings. It happens sometimes. It happens. 5K in a 3-bet pot says peanut flush. Going small. Wet board, you're just going to open fold, Jeff? You're not. He said wet board fold. 8K, 5K, 8K, 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 5K for Ginger, 5K for Cyrus. That's my dude. Cap checking, show going 8K. A couple of 5Ks. Team Spaz. Yep. Gil going 8K. Our number 1 fan from Scotland. Jeff Gem going 5. I'm looking for Beats going 5. Team Knit says Ginger. Nuh-uh. You don't fool me, Ginger. You used to be Team Knit. Not anymore. Big Town Brown, where you at, brother? 5K. 5K it is. Game of Edges, what are you betting?
I'm kind of torn between 5K or 8K, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna just go 5K though. Obviously he's weak. He's a weak rec according to the description, but he is open from early position. We are 3-bet early position open, so even a weak player should recognize, we have a strong hand. He should have a strong hand calling. And this flop, I definitely think we need a C-bet. I think a little smaller size is fine because we're trying to get a value from a wide range. But I don't know. Now I'm like leaning towards 8K. To be honest with you. I changed my mind. I'll go 8K.
Yeah.
Because 5K is just calling away anything,
Yeah, and it's kind of a draw heavy board, and they should hit this decent amount. So yeah, I'm at least 8K. 13 seems okay. The one thing is like we block King 10, so that kind of sucks. King 10, King Jack, King Queen. So I think because of that, I'm gonna go 8K as well.
Yeah, 8K. I agree. Personally, I'm gonna go 8K.
Chris and Tony, but 8K. I like it. Tony.
And Big Town Brown, 5K.
Both of our guys went 5K. Let's do it and find out. Oh, he likes the 5K.
This is close between a check and a bet, but assuming this is a recreational player that won't check raise that much, I think we can probably pretty easily just bet fold our hand. I think I like betting 5,000. I don't want to bet much because this board texture could change a lot. tens, nines, aces. Cards can come off that we don't want to, where we're going to be bluff catching, and we want the pot to be as small as possible when we're bluff catching. So checking and betting 5,000 are both very, very good options, and I don't like the larger options for the reasons I stated. I chose to check this time. I think I slightly prefer betting because of the player, but it's fine. We're not getting 3 streets of value anyways. Ace of diamonds, check. Should we check, bet 5,000, bet 8,000, or bet 13,000?
Likes a small bet. You were on the right track there, Gabe Edges. What you guys doing now? Check when the overcard comes. 5K, 8K, 13K. Same bet sizes. Going for your second favorite one. Good luck, Tony. Cap says checking again, of course. 5K for Cyrus, my dude. Check for Jelly. 13 for Triple. He's sizing up. Tony check in. Pokemon Line check in. Check. One big bet from Triple Barrel. And a medium bet there from Man Meatball. Ginger going 8. John going Jack. Yoda going 8. Jelly thinks he's got a ton of aces in his range. Big Tom Brown, where you at? For those betting, is it value or as a bluff?
That's a very good question.
Age-old question.
You have to ask yourself, why you betting? That's very important.
It's the 4 questions in poker. Betting as a value, betting for bluff. If you're betting for value, what's worse that's calling? If you're betting as a bluff, what's better that's folding? The poker in a nutshell. 5K for Big Tom Brown, and I think Cyrus is going 5K as well. So we're both going 5K again. What are you doing here?
This is kind of an interesting spot. I like checking, obviously because it's a bad turn, but I like the fact that we block all the nut hands. Like we block 10, we block the high diamonds, right? Only diamond that makes sense really is what, Queen 10 diamonds, I guess. Queen 9 diamonds, which he probably folds pre-flop. So this is kind of like a nice hand to turn to a bluff. But I mean, since he's a weak rec, I don't think maybe he's capable of folding the ace. So I'm just gonna check and go to showdown. But versus a good player, man, this would kind of be an interesting spot to maybe develop into a bluff. I don't know. It's kind of a interesting spot. But right now, as played, I'm just gonna check here personally. What about you, Toe?
Yeah, it's interesting too. I think I might check, especially after I check the flop. Because I do ask, like, what's worse it's calling. And I agree, we block all the high stuff, which is good. Yeah, and I think a good player is going to have some aces they check back here too, right? Because that ace also brings a lot of 2 pairs, and you still have some king. Do you check king 10? Probably not. You check king 10 on this flop? Probably not. Probably betting. If you had king 10, game of edges?
King 10, I would definitely bet.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think we kind of capped ourselves to not having the nuts here. We still have a lot of aces in our range though. Yeah, I think I would probably lean check as well.
I would check with hands like ace king. I would check with hands like ace 10 suited. I would take the same line with both his hands.
I like it.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty well balanced checking range here.
Agreed. All right, our guys going 5K each though. Let's see what happens.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. 5K, right?
Yep.
You said? Okay.
Ready to go. Likes the check.
I think we have another really clear check here. The ace is a pretty good card for our range. It's going to be hard to get 2 streets of value, though, with a lot of hands other than, like, ace-king. And so, yeah, I think we should just always check back here. If we're getting any value, it's going to just be 1 street of value here with the 2 kings. So check it back, get to a river. Our hand needs no protection. We do check. River's the 5 of hearts, and our opponent checks again. Should we check? Bet 3,000, bet 7,000, or bet 14,000.
All right, guys. This checked all the way to the river. We're going for value now. What do you think? 3K kept out front right away, betting uber small.
Wait, I want to address Triple's question. I think it's a very key concept.
Go for it.
So Triple says If it's a good card for you in your range, why would you check? It is a very good card for our range, but like Toe is saying, what are we trying to get value from? I don't think anything worse calls weak queens a fold, weak jacks a fold. I think if you had two pair like queen jack, he would raise on the flop. If he has two pair like ace jack, he would raise at this point. So only hands that are calling or playing against you are stronger hands. We have pretty obviously kings is a nice looking hand, but we just want to get the showdown. I think for sure.
100% agree.
Unless if you want to turn into a bluff, which actually I think is a really interesting play that you could do deep stack, which we are, but only against like good competent players. Like versus someone who's weak, I just don't think he's capable of folding ace, so I'm not even gonna try to bluff.
I love it. I love it. Show going 7K here on the river, and 7K is a bunch of 7Ks. Man, Meatball checking again. Jelly asking what's worse that will call. King, queen going to call too, but yeah, might check flop to the aggressor, check turn when the ace comes. That makes sense. King, queen, twist Tony does make some sense. And weak Rex are going to overplay and call 3 bets with king, queen, I think, as well. Yoda says 7K, prefer something like 5 to 6K here. Okay. Show says, good for our range for sure, but we have a made hand. Why would we want to turn second pair into a bluff? I would turn air or a jack into a bluff. Fair. If you check turn and river is a J or a queen, are you now folding to any bet? I'll get to that, triple barrel. The bluff turn, is bluffing river mandatory on any river? Generally speaking, yes. Looking for Cyrus. Big Top Brown. That's your guy, right? I just want to make sure. Yes,
Yeah,
Big Top Brown's going 7K on the river. And Cyrus is going 7K as well. They're playing this hand the same. You going 7K?
Personally,
Don't look like it.
no. I think I just checked, to be honest with you. I just don't see what we get value from at all. We just have the worst blockers. Like, odds are he doesn't have king, queen, king, jack. Like, we block his hands.
Dude.
I don't know. I just check, personally. Because I think he's definitely have a weak ace in his range, which he's not folding if we check turn.
Do we think weak rec is going to check all the way down or bet the river with the weak ace? That's where I'm kind of conflicted. I think weak rec might bet their ace on the river when we check all the way down. For what they perceive as value, right?
Yeah.
God, I can't help it. I feel like I'm betting here.
I think I like a big bet if I'm going to bet to make my hand look like a bluff, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a tricky spot, to be honest with you.
It is kind of weird. And we played it a little weird, too, with the check on the flop. I think I'm going 7 just because I feel like I have to eke some value from a queen. And maybe...
what queens do you put in his range?
We multiply.
Queen 10.
Okay. The queen 10 is definitely a hand you can have. That's pretty much it, right?
And,
maybe jack 10.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's tough, man. That's why I just check here. But I mean, it's tough,
Yeah, because we never get value from like 9s, pocket 10s. Really weird spot. Now you got me even more conflicted. 7K or check. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I think the answer is probably going to be a bet like 3K, though. Just because you could get that extra bit of value, just in case he has that weak queen, weak jack.
Sure. I think 5K allows you to get more value and still control the size of the re-raise, which I think we get re-raised here like never.
If we get re-raise, we have to fold, by the way.
For sure.
Never call here.
But I think that happens so infrequently, too. I think we're way more often just going to get called by weak A's. If we get called.
So if you're versing a good player, you should be checking.
Joe Bruce says if we check, we invite the bluff. We're in position, so we check, we show down. There's no bluff available. He's got the missed flush draw, which we're not getting any value from at all, Tony. So doesn't matter if we bet or what we bet there. He's got 8-9, probably not getting called. He's got queen 9, maybe getting called. Like queen 9 suited. Take our buy. We draw 2 winners. We have them compete in these quizzes, and then it's $5. Cool. Both our guys betting 7K. I'm really interested on the river here. I'm conflicted
Yeah.
and 100% not sure. To be honest with you, this was a good quiz. Let's find out.
I think checking is the completely standard option here because the worst of the worst hands, like King Queen, is the most likely hand that's going to call us, but we blocked that hand. So checking, I gave a score of 10. I also gave throw bet 3,000 there as a very, very exploitative, like cheap value bet to get a queen or a jack or maybe even an 8 that's curious to call. We don't get a bet larger than that without this hand. So either the really small bet or the check are both fine. This hand I went with bet 3,000, trying to get a very thin value, and another gun called with ace 10 offsuit. So this is the first hand of the day, so I definitely took note of that. They call the 3-bet out of position with ace 10 off, which is not good.
Yeah, likes the check, totally standard. Matt going with John on that one. Likes the small bet too. John was on the ball here. We don't invite stoppages on this stream. John knows what he's fucking talking about. Not getting called by worse. It makes a lot of sense, man. Makes a lot of sense. I would have done not so good. I've done okay on this quiz.
I will love this hand if we were versing a like competent player. Like this is such a sick hand to turn into a bluff. Only because we block so many of the nudge hands and drawers.
So you just go bet like medium on the turn and ball on the river?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. But obviously, if he's not a good player, he would call with ace 10 for sure, I think.
Absolutely. We got 17 points. How'd you do?
We got 17.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. How do we do tiebreaker?
We do random number generator.
Oh.
All right. Between 1 and 2. Pick it. 1 or 2?
1.
1. All right, Big Time Brown. If it's 1, you win. It is 2. Cyrus, you win the high card draw. You're winning flips today, guys. You're winning flips. Congratulations. We got time for one more, or you got to wrap it up?
I could do one more.
All right. It is my 11-year anniversary, so I got time for one more, but then I got to go because I want to make it to my 12-year anniversary. Where's Sixes? He's on vacation, Cap. Took the family, got an Airbnb, went to stay by the beach, and just relax and unplug. He might be back next week. If not, I'm going to reach out to Game of Edges again. He said he was going to make it, but we'll see. Yeah. Cool. F.U. King, says Cyrus. That's funny. All right, let's do one more. I'm going to scroll way down. Damn, we've done so many of these quizzes. It's crazy. All right. 674 is a JL. King 9 seated.
674.
While we're doing that, we'll just keep it rolling. So type toe in the chat if you haven't done so already. TOE, no exclamation. And we will draw 2 people to compete against each other. Really surprised Villain didn't bet the river, Big Time Brown. Yeah, I probably bet the river for value myself after it checks all the way down.
Yeah. He should have bet river, I think.
I think so too.
And that would have been a tough decision, right?
God, thank you for the happy anniversary, Big Time Brown. I saw my wife put some posts on social media, so I have to. I know she's awake. All right, let these toes come in here. Right now we got 13 eligible peoples. I see Ginger getting in there. For those of you tier 2 and tier 3 subs, don't forget next weekend, Saturday, after the study stream, we're going to do the Subby Study group. It's just a reminder. Seeing Ginger's name reminded me of that. All right, I see him coming in and starting to slow down. Let's draw 2 peeps. First one is J. Chimo. J. Chimo, you're going to battle out against, Twisted Tony. All right, Tony, you're with the Game of Edges. I will take J. Chimo. And we will play this out. Let's go.
We get dealt King 9 of spades early in a $2,000 buy-in live tournament. Falls down to a tight aggressive player in the hijack seat who makes it 3 big blinds. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 800, or re-raise to 1,400?
Because Tony was feeling it. Hey, happy birthday, Gil. Hope you have a great day, buddy. King 9 suited, facing a 3X in the big blind. What are y'all doing? Cyrus coming out with the defend. Everyone. Gmo, my man, coming in with the call. Emerson calling. We're both calling. Twisted Tony is calling. Everybody's calling. Everybody's calling. See if anybody bets. Give you a couple seconds to come in. J Coop's a call. Yoda's calling, it sounds like. Poker My Mind calling. Phil's birthday, man. Well played, JPG. Ooh, look at that. John, Show 540, and Jeff Gem coming in with the raise.
Jeff's been watching my stream way too much.
It's good. It's good. Jeff Gem's a legend in all streams.
He is.
Can we call? Can we raise a cutoff or button open? Says Cap. What do you think? Good game of edges.
Can we raise? Yeah,
Cutoff
of course.
Can we three bet?
That makes it even easier to 3-bet if it was a later position open.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. This is one of our good bluffing hands for sure. Are you raising here?
Yeah, absolutely. Some hands are just like my go-to 3-bet bluffs that play well post-flop. King 9 suited is like one of them, and Ace 5 suited is another. I think they, even though I'm out of position, they play well enough post-flop that I can maneuver, and I just don't think they play too great as a calls. I guess calling the big blind here is fine. It's definitely not wrong, but I think you know, it's a nice hand to 3-bet and get out of line slightly.
This is kind of like that ace jack off hand we saw earlier. Like there's just the standard squeeze, right? Like that's the hand.
Yeah. Well, that one's a little different though because we were in position.
This is true.
And we were squeezing early position openers. I was doing that more for a blocker effect, the ace jack off. This one I'm doing strictly. I obviously taking down the pot pre-flop. This would be great because we are bluffing. But I think we can maneuver really well with this hand post flop. Ace jack off if we had here. We would 3-bet. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Ace jack off we would call here, I think. What do you bet you tell?
I actually probably 3-bet ace jack off and then probably flat ace jack suited myself. I'm just like.
I like.
Good.
Versus middle position, early position opens. I actually my offsuit aces, high aces. I actually like calling because you could comfortably call 3 streets like if it's ace high board. And your opponent could get out of line and trying to bluff you off like a weak ace. But you know, because a lot of times people don't put you on strong hands to defend the big blind. So I think it balances out your range pretty nice.
I like it. I like it. Jelly's saying tag should be opening with a stronger range. Yes, but they're still going to open like Queen Jack here, and we don't want to get c-bet off a board that we miss with the best hand. And they're going to have weak aces that we're going to be able to 3-bet here. Their call, and we get to c-bet the board and get them to fold.
Yeah, we could represent a lot of different board textures. Obviously, hit king or knight or flush draw or straight draw, that's nice, but we also can represent the ace high flush draws, maybe you know, like any like high Broadway flops we could represent. You know, we have a lot of maneuverability post flop.
Totally. And you would be going 800 or 1400?
1400.
I think that's right because we're out of position, right? Want to size up a little bit?
Yep, and we're so deep. I mean, we're 300 big blinds deep, so I would go even like the close to 5x sizing.
I love it. Yeah, I'm definitely on the same page. Both their guys are calling though. Let's see how that goes.
When you have a pretty great hand closing the action in the big blind, you usually don't want to mess that up by re-raising. Obviously, if we re-raise, we could get called by some worse hands, and we're going to be able to win the pot with a continuation bet some portion of the time. But if we re-raise, we could also just get 4-bet, which would be terrible. And, you know, playing out of position when deep stacked is generally not where you want to be. So we're going to call. You may say, oh, is King 9 good enough to call? It is. You need to be calling with many hands that have decent potential post flop, even for a 3 big blind raise. But whenever you are deep, you do need to be a little bit more cautious when you're out of position. Like, say this was King 5 offsuit, I would just be folding it. So don't think you have to call like any king because the king is good, because that's not what I'm saying here. But King 9, even offsuit's fine enough to call. So we call. We're going to be checking basically every flop. We get middle pair, we check, and the opponent bets 500. Should we fold, call, raise to 1,500, or raise to 2,500?
Now I'm really curious to see what the raise was point-wise.
Yeah, I'm like really curious. I don't want to mess this up though. Last time I messed it up.
All right, guys. We call, pick up second pair, check to the C, facing the C-bet. It's actually decently sized C-bet, too.
You know why I think maybe call is better? Now I'm thinking about it a little more. It's because we're so deep.
Right.
Like,
Right.
maybe
And out of position.
But, and maybe if you're lower, maybe I'm thinking like if you're 30, 40, 50 big blinds, it's just so much value picking up the pop pre-flop. Now it's like no value picking up pop pre-flop. So
Sure.
maybe that's the logic.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I see nothing but calls streaming in the chat. Nothing but calls, nothing but calls, nothing but calls. Easy call for Tony. Call. Folds says J Coop. Is that? Oops. I forget who my dude is. It's J Chimo's my dude, not J Coop. Cool. It was close. That's what threw me. Call. Call. I think everyone is calling. We're both calling here too, right? No raise and raise.
Nope. It was pretty easy.
Agreed. Let's all call and see what happens.
If you have studied the poker coaching challenges, or if you've been through the cash masterclass in poker coaching premium, you know this is a very clear marginal made hand. There's basically no merit in raising. If you raise, what's going to happen is better hands are going to call you, which is bad, and good draws are going to call you, which is also not great. So you don't want to build a pot when that's the case. Also, if we raise, we get re-raised and have to fold every once in a while. So we're definitely just going to call. Turns a 7. Goes check. Okay. River is an 8. Should we check? Bet 500, bet 1,000, or bet 1,500?
Checking to get the showdown, betting for thin value. What y'all gonna do? Yoda says calling. There's some ace, queen, king, queen, jack hands in his range, along with aces, kings, queens, jacks hands. You gotta look more in the middle pair to your raise. Absolutely. Call for Cyrus. Call. 500 for thin value, says Mr. Cyrus. 1,500 for Twisted Tony. That's your dude. Check call for Jeff. Turn did check through, Kep. RJ says he probably has 10s or jacks. Definitely a possibility with bet flop check turn. Thousand says J Coop. J Chimo, where you at, my man? It's 500. So 500 and 1,500.
Mike said, Tony, would you say 500?
1,500 for you.
1,500, gotcha.
Check for peanut flush. You thin value here, Game of Edges?
I don't know, it's kind of a tricky spot because we have all the straights in our range.
Mm-hmm.
It's high aggressive player. Yeah, I think I bet for value. I think we go for value. We get called by like hands like ace 8, some weaker pairs. It's tough though. I mean, I guess you could check call. If I'm betting small though.
500.
Yeah. What about you?
I tend to check call these spots, but I also know that a weakness in my game is missing thin river value. So if you told me bet here was right, I wouldn't hate you.
We're so deep stack. I mean, it's not even worth like risking. I think the correct play would be check call. If we were deeper, maybe it'd be some value, again, more value, but.
Just the only way you're winning this is if he folds. I don't 100% agree on that one, Tony, but we'll see what happens. If you're betting for value, don't we want to maximize our value and bet big? If you bet big here, Marlon, what's worse that's calling?
Yeah, I agree. And you have all the straights in your range. You have so many stronger hands in your range that could be betting big.
Yeah, like you backdoor the Jack 10.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you river the Jack 10 with the open ender. Definitely betting big, right? Get called
I think check calling is the way to go here because he does have some busted. Like high over cards. He might try to get you off a weak pair, but that was your final answer, right, Toe?
Yeah, I would check him. Check. You're going 15 and I'm going 5. Let's see how that works.
15, okay.
Now, we have to decide if we want to go for value. So, are there worse hands in the opponent's range that can call a value bet? Well, maybe not, right? I mean, if the opponent is a tight, aggressive player, they're probably not opening a whole lot of 7-6 type hands. And if he does have 7-6, he may just fold that to a river bet anyway. He can maybe have a hand like Ace-8 suited that got a pair on the river that may call. I guess he could have something like Jack-9 that may call. Notice if he has pocket 60s, he's going to fold. So this is a spot where I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to bet for value, unless your opponent is a bit of a calling station. If we are going to bet for value, we want to use a small bet, like 500, to really try to get called by the marginal stuff in our opponent's range. So, in this scenario, I think the only bet size that makes sense is 500. That said, I don't think we need to bet. Checking is also very nice, because when we check, we know we're just not folding all that often, unless I guess our opponent bets big. But even if he bets big, we'll still probably just call, because he could have Ace-King, Ace-Jack, Ace-10, King-Jack, right? King-10. He could have all those hands. And some people will even take a hand like pocket 3s and turn it into a bluff. So whenever you have a very clear marginal made hand on the river, it's a spot where you really just don't need to value bet. If I had pocket 10s, I would not bet here. If I had a queen, I think the best queens we definitely need to bet. The worst queens, like say we defended Queen 3 suited, I think it's fine to check those on the river as well, because you know you're not folding to a bet. So with marginal made hands, this is usually how it goes down. Check, 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 check. Check the river, looking to have an easy check call. So I check river. Opponent checks behind. And when it goes check, check, I'm probably going to win unless he has jacks or 10s. And he doesn't have it this time.
Nice. Check for the win. 8 points for the bet 500, though. Super close.
We got
Super
22.
close. You got 22. We got 28. So, Jay Chimo, hit me up with your ACR screen name or PayPal email address, and I will make sure you get paid. Congratulations, guys. John, thanks for hanging out, man. This was a good one again. I appreciate you doing this with me, man.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. This is fun. I enjoy doing this with you a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great thing you're doing. You represent a very good website. Me myself, I've been using pokercoaching.com for years now. I have a bunch of Jonathan's books. I'm a member of his coaching site, and I just think it's a great resource. So if you guys aren't a member, I think Toe said he has a link. You can get a free trial, and it's
Yeah, absolutely, man.
check it out.
And we'll definitely enjoy having you. We'll definitely have you back again. Both me and Sixes as a guest, and I'll definitely hit you up for when Sixes slacks off, when he takes vacations. Who takes vacations?
Yeah, right.
Exclamation PC in the chat is what I just put in there for you. You can sign up for free, get 20 free quizzes, big blind charge for 100 blinds or more. I think you get a couple of homeworks, and also you can sign up for premium, where you get webinars, multiple webinars a week by these crushers. Matt Affleck does one every week, usually on Wednesdays. All a host of good coaches and all that stuff. So make sure you sign up. PC in the chat. There's the link for you. Make sure you give my man John Game of Edges here a follow. Make sure you follow me. If you missed any part of this, you can catch up all the replays for all the ones we've ever done on the YouTube channel. We'll be back next weekend as well. I'll be back playing Big Sunday on all the sites tomorrow. John, you streaming tomorrow, or are you disappearing into the shadows now the series is over?
I promised I would take a break.
Fair enough.
So
25 games in a
I'm
row.
probably gonna take a couple, like at least 5 days. Maybe start streaming next week.
Make sure you follow John anyways. The guy crushes. He plays big buy-in events almost exclusively, and he does really well. So you are missing out if you don't follow Game of Edges and get in on some of that great strategy talk. He has a similar stream to me, talks strategy, and plays a lot of poker, so check him out. I don't know who I'm throwing the host over to. Let me figure out who that's going to be. Thank you for the happy anniversary. I'm going to throw the host over to... You know what? Let's do Violet Mystery. We haven't hooked up Violet in a while. We'll do that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
/host Violet.